What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to come down here real quick to talk about some hot topics. First, we got Evelyn and Shanice. Evelyn and Shanice, they got a Build a Whore podcast going on now. Everybody is having a podcast nowadays, and I really can't take it because for me, I like to know, I like to keep my ear to the ground and know what everybody is talking about, right? And I just feel like everybody got a podcast now, and it's just so overwhelming for me. So I listen to the Joe Budden podcast. Well, the podcast that I listen to religiously, probably almost every episode that they have is Higher Learning Podcast with Van Latham and Rachel Lindsay. So I'll listen to a whole episode. Whenever they put out an episode, I'll listen to a whole episode. And when Jill Scott had J.Ill with Aja Greater Dantzler and Laia St. Clair. I'm not trying to be funny. If I'm being honest with you, Jill Scott is who I knew, and she's the reason why I started listening to the podcast. I grew to love Aja out of all of the girls, and I don't want to put them against each other because, I really do love Aja. I like the way she thinks. She kind of reminds me of Erica De Niro in a way of kind of like getting you to open up your mind a little bit. And I really appreciate Aja. She really, had me doing some self-reflection and opening up my mind to things that I just feel like that I was closed off to. I'm not afraid to admit. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Just some things that I feel like my mind was closed off to or whatever. She really opened up my mind to some things. But so we got J.Ill. I used to listen to every episode of that. Then we got Joe Budden podcast. Now they come out twice a week. And Joe be losing his mind sometimes because sometimes I get ready to listen to the podcast and it's 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? I don't have 4 hours in my day to be listening to a podcast. You know what I'm saying? And try to keep track of everything. Now we got Deshaun Snow got a podcast I tried to listen to. I probably won't listen to that again. I used to listen to Don't Call Me White Girl. So everybody got a podcast. So Evelyn and Shanice now have a podcast, a Build a Whore podcast. Some of my faves got podcasts. Giselle is one of my faves. I never listened to an episode of the podcast that Giselle got. To me, I don't think that everybody can do hot topics.
Yup.
I don't think that everybody can do hot topics, and I'm not really interested in what everybody has to say. And that's just my opinion, okay? So we got the Build a Whore podcast with Evelyn and Shanice, and they're over there talking about what prompted Evelyn to get the slapping on her puss.
I got a mother.
What prompted her to start slapping on her pussy? And honestly and truthfully, this is my first time ever really hearing Shanice talk. And I don't think that I like the way, I'm not trying to be funny. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all can say, you sure playing the bitch down. But I'm just saying, her voice sound real nasally a little bit. It kind of sound like Brit Eady. It's just the voice don't match the body, but the body is done. They had to build that whore. You know what I'm saying? That was a big old, I went to school. You know what I'm saying? That was a big old mess when Evelyn first showed her on the show, but they had to build her up to get her to where she is now. And she probably over there eating one of those telemedicine diets or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so the voice seems like it's still kind of nasally and heavy, but the voice definitely don't match the body. But they was over there talking about why did Evelyn start slapping her puss, and Evelyn was saying that she was upset. But Evelyn, I want you to tell it like it is. Shout out to Bernie Mac. Rest in peace, okay? You need to tell it like it is, girl. You was upset, girl, and you are a real violent person. You violent. You was upset at OG because she said Ocho Cinco wanted her, and you got upset. She punked you, okay? That girl threw you. You got the running after CC, okay? And you ran after CC. OG grabbed you to the ground and threw you in the ground, and you was face down, ass up. And your ego was hurt. And you got up and said, this ain't got nothing to do with you. This ain't got nothing to do with you. I couldn't imagine a motherfucker throwing me on the ground, pushing me down, face first, face down, ass up, and not getting up windmilling. I couldn't imagine. You was hurt. You wanted to call the girl ugly, and she told you Ocho Cinco wanted me.
Wanted me. Ocho Cinco wanted me.
Ocho Cinco wanted me, and you got mad. And the thing is, if it was anybody else, you probably would have tried to put your hands on them. But you knew that you couldn't put your hands on OG. You were scared of OG.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
You were scared of OG. Miss Big Old Bad, you would never sleep another wink in Brooklyn. Remember she told Jackie that? You would never sleep another wink in Brooklyn. Them goons will be at your door. And baby, Jackie woke up, was walking in the park. Okay? And you knew that you couldn't put your hands on OG. So you got to hitting your puss. You got to start hitting your puss instead.
I got a mother.
That puss that couldn't keep that nigga. Ain't that what y'all love to say? You couldn't keep no nigga. You couldn't keep no nigga. This man abused you. And you went to go and talk to him about trying to trash OG.
Bitch.
You went to try to get in cahoots with him to try to trash OG. Oh, Jesus. But that's the real story, Shanice. If you really want to know what happened to your mama, why she was out there slapping her puss, because she knew she couldn't slap OG. She knew she couldn't slap nobody else.
Like what?
That's the reason why.
Next, we got PK and Dorit. Okay? Now, according to the Jasmine brand, it said Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley possible spousal support now at risk as husband PK hits back in divorce court.
Oh my God.
PK Kemsley has officially responded to the Dorit Kemsley divorce filings with a strong counterclaim seeking joint custody of the kids. According to the court documents obtained by TMZ, Dorit initially requested primary legal and physical custody of their two children. However, PK is now pushing back, seeking joint custody in all areas. Married since 2015, the Kemsley announced their split just shy of their 10-year anniversary in May 2024. In addition to his custody request, PK is also asking the court to terminate its ability to award spousal support to Dorit.
You can't do that.
Y'all know Dorit is one of my faves. Dorit is one of my faves. You know, some girls is born. What did it say? Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's Maybelline. Dorit is one of the girls. She's born with it. Or at least since I've been seeing her on the show. You know, she had it since we seen her on the show. She came on the show already in. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know what happened before that, okay? But I was also reading the other day on BravoTV.com. It said that Dorit reveals the challenging ultimatum PK gave her a really strong reaction. So she was basically saying in an article, it said that when she was dating PK, her and PK had a talk about her pursuing her career or starting a family. Okay? And she ended up putting her career on pause to officially start their family in 2014. Okay? She wrote, this is what she said. She said, it was the first fight that PK and I had, she admitted to the publication. PK and I was very codependent. I had my own business. I had factories in Italy and in Hong Kong.
Girl.
So I had to travel and was selling all over the world. I was also looking to grow it bigger and bigger. PK and I were not the type of people to be independent. Okay? She continued, noting that she was also very involved in PK's career. I looked after him. I was his right-hand person and confidant and advisor. So it was a decision I made. It was either this relationship or this career. So she chose her relationship. Okay? Now, she also let us know more in the article. She said that she was engaged twice before PK to two wonderful men, and she didn't go down the aisle. And with PK, after 3 months, I felt like I had known him my whole life. That was just something very different. It felt like two pieces of a puzzle that fit. I'm willing to bet, in my mind, I think that PK probably was bringing money in. I believe that PK was scamming. And I believe that PK had Dorit living a certain type of lifestyle, which is why she was so ready to be like, oh, I can get used to this. I can get used to this. But the thing is about, being with a scammer, is he going to be able to afford to give you spousal support? I just, from what I'm seeing, Dorit, I just don't think that he, in my mind, and from what I'm seeing on TV, Dorit is one of my faves, but I just don't think PK just don't give me that he got that type of money. Again, I believe that PK left Dorit. PK don't want to, in my mind, I think that PK didn't want to be with Dorit because Dorit became too expensive. I believe that Dorit was his biggest bill. And I believe that's the reason why he left. That's what I got in my mind. Okay, but get that money. If you can get it. But I just, in my mind, I just can't see. I don't understand going to, if you know that his money is funny and he a scammer, I just can't see you going to court saying you want to get spousal support, because that'll blow up the whole operation. Okay? Who else we got? Sweet Tea. Okay? Sweet Tea will not be returning to Married to Medicine.
Oh, what?
Okay? Now, Sweet Tea joined the show. This is her second season on the show. And she's not coming back. Now, Heavenly told us during the season, Heavenly can't hold cold water. Heavenly was doing too much talking this season on her Speak On It, getting drunk in her closet. And nothing wrong with Heavenly getting drunk in her, she go to work every day or whatever. If she want to have a drink or whatever, that's fine, as long as she's not drunk messing up nobody's teeth, okay? But I don't think they should have never brought Sweet Tea on the show, in my opinion. I don't think that they should have brought Sweet Tea on the show. But now that we have her here, I don't think, in my opinion, I just don't think that we get rid of her and throw her away like trash. I just don't agree with that. Since she was already there, I believe that we should have treated her right. But I just don't think that you do people like that. Everything that was discussed should have happened before she joined the show. And if we're gonna bring her over here, let's not misuse her. But I feel like they did. I feel like they used that girl to get back at Quad, and I felt like they used her for a storyline. And I believe that Heavenly was behind it, and I believe that Heavenly was doing everything that she could do to make it right to Quad. And that's the reason why I really believe that Sweet Tea got up out of there. They got Sweet Tea up out of there. I do. In my opinion, though, Sweet Tea, you and Greg did yourselves no favors by the way that y'all were acting. I felt like that Sweet Tea almost wanted the girls to try to beg her to be in a group. Now, I do believe that some of the girls didn't want you there, but I do feel like with Toya and some of the girls, it was almost like you thought that you was bigger than the program and you wanted the girls to beg you. But Sweet Tea, the show went on without Greg, and it would certainly survive without you and Greg. I just don't like the way that they did you. And I felt like that in the back of your mind, you knew that you was coming. I feel like that you wanted to come back toward the end and toward the reunion and stuff. You was talking real Cash Money shit, but you really wanted to be on TV. And toward the end, it was a little bit too late. And I feel like that you knew that it was too late. And I feel like that you should have left this show with a bang. I would have left this show with a bang. And honestly and truthfully, I don't think that your fight was with Quad. Because Quad, honestly and truthfully, she threw a little shade at you or whatever. But I don't think that Quad really was coming for you like that. I think that you and Quad let Heavenly pitch all against each other. In my opinion, again, these girls over here supposed to be pulled up black women. They're supposed to be doctors. You know what I'm saying? I wanted Sweet Tea and Quad, even though they were not doctors on the show, I wanted them to show us that, black women, even though that they was, you know what I'm saying? One of them is the ex-wife of the current wife's husband. I don't know if that makes sense what I was saying, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? That they can still coexist and get along and not beef. I would have loved if they would have showed us that, but they didn't show us that.
It ain't no black girl magic in this circle.
At all.
It ain't no goddamn black excellence.
Instead, I felt like Heavenly was trying to get the girls to beef because that's what she think of the audience, that's what we want to see. But that's not what we really want to see. I mean, if they gonna beef, let it be because of they beefing. But let it be natural and let it be reality. I don't want to see Heavenly getting into an argument with Sweet Tea and throwing up Quad name in it. And you need to bear word about your husband coming after this bitch and still bump. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that. Especially not from no doctor. And you don't want nobody talking about your husband.
I can say so much about your husband.
Next, we got the fan favorite now, okay? Angela Oakley.
Come on, give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
I'm Team Oak. I'm Team Oak, okay? I am loving Angela Oakley this season. I believe that she is the breakout star, okay? Britt Eady, like Britt Eat D, Britt Eat Dick. Yes, she will be, she's not even on the list. She at the bottom of my shoe, okay? Britt Eady is a girl that I don't care to know. I don't care about her storyline. I don't care about the GoFundMe that she had to bury her daddy. I don't care nothing about what's going on with her and her family. But I thought that toward the beginning of the season, I thought that Kelly was making a great impression on me, but it feels like Angela Oakley is stealing the show. Okay, Angela Oakley has become the fan favorite, and I am really loving Angela Oakley this season, okay? Now, that is the queen, okay? Now, Angela Oakley was on Dish Nation, and, I'm not trying to be funny, I don't really watch Dish. My thing is, and I'm just being real with you, I don't think that I ever really watched Dish or anything over there with Ricky Smiley. Is Ricky Smiley over there on Dish Nation? I don't know. But once they hired a Porsha, I know that Porsha was over there before. And if I'm getting it right, I know that Porsha, I believe that Dish got something to do with Porsha and the Brad and Claudia Jordan. And, I believe that that's the people over there. But they asked Angela, what does she think about Porsha saying that she would fuck Charles? And she said, well, that's what whores do.
Go ahead.
And they said, well, what made you draw that conclusion? That she's a whore? I don't like how y'all playing. And see, this is the thing. What I can't take is that Kenya was called a whore. They got her off Whore Island, Phaedra was saying. Kenya was called a whore, yet Kenya has not, to our knowledge, Kenya has not done anything to any of her cast members' husbands on this show. We cannot say the same for Porsha. Okay? I was told, you don't shit where you eat. You don't shit where you eat. Okay? We had Porsha over there with Candy and Todd. Okay, remember they was kissing on the club, and she told Candy that she wanted to eat her pussy till she came.
That's just like when you was kissing me in the club and told me you wanted to eat my till I came.
And Candy said that she was trying to get them to go to the room, but Todd said no because Todd knew that it was messy. Candy didn't give a damn. Candy wanted to go eat eye. Candy probably was gonna put some Pop Rocks in her pussy. Or some sugar in her pussy. That's what she put in her pussy. Okay. But Todd is the one who said no. And Candy was saying that she didn't think that was a good idea. And I don't think it was a good idea, neither, Candy. And I think that really saved you because that could have been, it was already horrible, but it could have been much worse. Because the thing is, y'all know what y'all did and the way that the cameras play and the way that production is ran. And now that we get a little insight to how these shows roll, somebody could have said something that they didn't really say, and somebody could have took it the wrong way, and it would have just blown up and been a big it was already nasty, but it could have been even worse if y'all really would have took her to bed, okay? But Porsha then went, okay? We saw Porsha over there with Bolo, okay? Porsha, we saw what Bolo had. Kenya said that she came downstairs and she heard Porsha screaming in the room deeper and harder.
You nasty.
Telling Bolo to go deeper and harder. Okay? Shitting where you eat. Shitting where you eat. And I'm not mad at Porsha for sleeping with Bolo. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do. She was a grown woman. And I'm mad at Porsha. I'm not even mad. I'm disappointed in Porsha because that was her second time getting caught up in some whole activities on this show. And if you was going to sleep with Bolo, you are a millionaire. You or him could have went and got a room anywhere. You mean to tell me that y'all was going to sleep and you was going to have sex with a man, a stripper, with a man? I had a threesome. Because Tammy was down there having a threesome. But remember, Tammy was screaming, I can't do it. And Porsha was saying, girl, yes, you can. Okay? You went and had a threesome with this man. I mean, yeah, you and this man had a threesome in the house where there could be witnesses. And Kenya wasn't lying because Candy even confirmed it. That she heard them in there screaming and moaning with Bolo. Okay, so that's 2. Strike 3, Porsha, that same season, I believe, yes. Am I mistaken? No, the same season. Even with the whorish activities that Porsha was doing, Simon was there. And now that I'm thinking about it, there probably wasn't Bolo in the room. There probably was Simon in the room. Because Simon was at that trip. Simon had came to South Carolina with... what's the girl name? Fallon. Planned Parenthood Fallon. Okay? He came down there with Planned Parenthood and he was staying at a hotel. And I remember that night she was supposed to have left. That was Fallon. Yes, that was Fallon. Fallon was there with Simon. Simon was there on the trip to Cynthia's bachelorette party. So it could have been Simon in the room. Now I'm reaching. Well, I'm not reaching. It could have been him in the room. We talking about Porsha. Okay, but Porsha ended that season. At the end of that season, Simon was getting a divorce from his wife, which was a cast member on the show, and Porsha was now engaged to him. That is what we call a whore.
You're a whore.
You nasty.
You're a whore. You done slept with everybody. They don't want you.
Okay, and I'm glad that Angela is calling it out. I'm glad that Angela is calling it out. And what I love is that even how bad, because don't get me wrong, Porsha is bad. Okay, that's a good looking woman. Okay, money well spent. Okay, when Porsha came through the airport in Nashville, baby, Porsha was killing the game. Porsha looks good. Even in her confessional that she said over here with Dennis on, Porsha looks good. But that is just because you're pretty does not mean that this man is going to sleep with you. And I don't believe that Porsha was joking when she said it. I don't believe that it was the Henny.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
Your actions have shown it wasn't the Henny. Because even if you want to blame it on the Henny, where was the Henny at when you were saying I do 20 times all around the world with Simon? All these African weddings and stuff you done had with Simon. You wasn't playing. You just didn't think that you was going to get caught up. And I'm glad that Angela is calling it out. Now, Angela, the girls may try to come for you at the reunion. I've seen that you said that the girls going to come for you at the reunion. It don't matter. We got your back. We got your back. Well, I don't know about because the audience can be fickle. I got your back. Okay? And the head doctor, Phaedra, you ain't got to sweat her. Don't sweat her. Because I feel like she going to come in. Porsha going to probably need some backup and she going to call in. Just keep doing what you're doing because you have been getting the girls together. Now, I feel like you ain't really got no team. I think that you got a team in Drew That's a weak team. You better alone on your own. I don't like how every time you get into it with somebody, Drew is walking away. When you got into it with Porsha in Nashville, Drew walking away, she going to her room. You get into it with Porsha or Britt eat D. You get into it with Britt eat D when you told her she got miles on her mouth. Drew walking away. I gotta protect my peace. I gotta protect my peace.
I don't know. Take what you want from that. That's what he said.
You don't need nobody like that. And she trying to play with you. You okay, girl? It don't matter, girl. You wasn't doing nothing when I was over here fighting by myself. I'm out here fighting for you. Okay? So shout out to Angela. We got your back. I got your back. And I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Keep on telling it like an IT is. I'm here for it. Porsha is a whore. And, I don't really, honestly and truthfully, before this season, Porsha was never really one of my faves. She really was not. But this season, I don't want to say the show. I think I'm starting to like Porsha more just by watching her speak on it. And this is the thing, y'all. It's too much stuff. I feel overwhelmed. The thing is, I don't mind coming down here. Listen, I love to run my mouth, but it can become overwhelming when everybody got a podcast and you're trying to listen to everybody. It can become overwhelming. But I do think that Porsha is whorish. She ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that she's gonna be messing with nobody of mine. I'll stump the bitch in the pussy.
That's wrong.
Oh, please, darling, cool it down.
But I think that I had a new found. I think that I do like Porsha after watching her speak on it, seeing more of her personality. I do like Porsha. I don't really have she's a what I'm saying, she's a whore, but I mean, it does it really affect me? No. But I do like Porsha too. I like Porsha too, but I'm team Angela. But before this season, Porsha was never really a girl that I went up for. I'm not saying I go up for her now, but I do enjoy her on her speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I do like her content creation. I find myself looking forward to watching her speak on it and the way that she engages with the audience and the way that she gives, behind the scenes tea, what's going on. I like it because it seems more, I think that she be lying through her teeth sometimes. The thing is, she don't do it like Heavenly do it. Heavenly do it in a messy way. I think that Porsha is just really telling her truth. And the thing, it could be her truth, but I just don't think that Porsha is too bright. Okay. Last but not least, child, they say that Chef D done got caught in LA with meth. Okay? Now, y'all know I am drug-free is the way to be. DARE. D-A-R-E. What is it called? Drugs Against... I forgot what it was called. I'm a DARE kid. You know what I'm saying? I remember my grandmother telling me when I was young, when you get older, somebody going to offer you a pill and they're going to say that pill going to make you feel good. Don't take that pill. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all been following me for a minute, I think I told this story a couple of times. Y'all tell me not to tell it, but I'm telling you for anybody who ever want to try it. I think that I'm still high from the first time I ever tried weed. And I can say that in front of God. I do. It was something that clicked in me that made me believe, it was something that clicked in me. And I do believe that since the first time I got high, I have never been the same again. I do not believe that I have been. And that's just my truth. I tell everybody that, and they just be like, don't say that. No, I'm telling y'all the truth. And so with that being said, I don't smoke weed. I used to smoke weed when I was in college, but it just wasn't for me. I think that don't get me wrong, I had some good times high, but I also had some very, very low times. And I would, become depressed and overthink. And I think that now I have a problem with overthinking now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I would get ready to try to, full transparency, sometimes I'll get ready to want to talk about something on YouTube and I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, my thumbnail is not perfect the way that I want it to be. And I just won't hit the link. You know what I'm saying? And that's my truth. You know what I'm saying? And it may sound petty to y'all, but it's just, you know what I'm saying, overthinking. And so I had to stop smoking weed. I've never been a drinker. Don't get me, I have tried liquor before or whatever. If I'm at like a birthday party or whatever, I got a friend or whatever, and it's a birthday party or whatever, and they're taking the shots or whatever, I'll take a shot. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I don't drink. It doesn't taste good to me. You know what I'm saying? But I will take a shot if it's a birthday. You know, okay, like my brother or sister birthday or whatever, and we at a bar or something, or at a, you know what I'm saying, getting something to eat, or if I'm getting ready to go out with my friends or whatever, and it's a special occasion, I'll take a shot. But other than that, I don't really drink. It doesn't taste good to me. You know what I'm saying? Give me some ice water and I'm good, or some Chick-fil-A lemonade mixed with Sprite, or some strawberry lemonade, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only person. A nigga asked me to buy me a drink at the club or whatever, and I'll be like, give me some water. And my friends used to be like, get a drink and give it to me, get a drink and give it to me, you know? But anyway, but the right nigga the right nigga though, I will tell you this though, the right nigga, I've had some times when the right nigga will come and buy all my friends things. That do happen. But what was I saying? Chef D was caught in LA with meth. They said that Chef D was caught in LA. He was arrested with meth. I don't even know what meth look like. Okay, I have never done nothing higher than weed, and so for me, and I just can't. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Now they say that he got caught trying to sell it or whatever. You know, for me, and I'm a person too. I just couldn't imagine. Call me a square, call it what you want. I couldn't imagine. To me, I feel like if I got caught, you would never see because I feel like if I got caught with meth, you know what I'm saying, the jail time that come with having some meth on you seems like it'll be a life sentence. So I just wouldn't fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? But they caught him down there in jail selling meth. I mean, caught him down there in LA with meth. So I guess Saucy Santana gonna go bail him out or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all, but that's all I got. Thank y'all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. And I will see y'all later. Adios.